Hey guys, fluxjelly here coming at you guys with another Starcraft 2 commentary, and what a game I have for you guys today. Today we're going to be having Dignitas's killer, the yellow Zerg spawning at the right position, and we got Complexity's rsvp, the teal, I guess, Protoss spawning at the top sitting here on Antiga shipyard. PvZ and Antiga shipyard, wow, is that's actually very versatile because there's a lot of different openings that Protoss tend to do against Zergs. Some decide to forge FE right here, some decide to forge FE here, others don't want to really deal with this really large natural, so they start to, they'll just like 3-gate expand or like 1-gate expand or something like that. So a bunch of openings can be done here. I'm not quite sure what the Zerg player is going to do. It does make it a little bit harder on him, but killer and rsvp, really high level players, so I do expect a really good game coming out of two of these guys. Definitely going to be really interesting matchup. So we have the pylon going down to the low ground here for rsvp, which it clearly shows that he's going to be forge FEing. He's going to actually decide to try to wall this off here and then put his nexus down here and then wall this off over here. Probably, I don't know, I'm not really much of a Protoss player, so I can't really say for sure, but I feel like it's easier to wall off the ramp. You can kind of just put like a cannon here, or a pylon here, sorry, with like a gateway or a forge and a cannon, and then your young gateway or forge here, and then another pylon, and it kind of walls it off. You just get your zealot. I'm not quite sure how this wall works. I know a pylon blocks this off, so I guess you just put a pylon here and a cannon back here and a cannon here, and you have your nexus completely covered. So I guess it works either way. And we actually have a 15 hatch coming out of killer right now, so he is going to go 15 hatch. Really risky against Protoss, especially if you don't know if they're going to forge FE or not, because if they do forge FE, they can just throw some cannons down by your hatch, and it's really hard to deal with. Especially on Antiga, where you can wall this off back here with pylons and then put the cannons here. It makes it pretty much unstoppable. I mean, you can't really get at the cannon, so it's pretty much impossible to deal with. You kind of have to sack the hatch and just kind of try to break it. So we do have the gas in the pool going down now for killer, so he's going to be going into some sort of speedling build, looks like. Not quite sure if he's actually seen the forge FE yet. I don't think he has. The overload is almost there. I do expect him to go into probably a quick third after this. Antiga is a really good map for a quick third because it's really close to your natural here. It's just ramp to ramp, and you do have these rocks here you just keep an eye on, but I mean, they do provide some protection for this expansion. So I mean, Protoss has to come funnel in through here and probably engage you right here somewhere. So definitely a good map for taking a quick third. We're going to have the nexus going down now for rsvp after cannon. So he did be really safe there. I guess he didn't really see the 15 hatch. So he's going to put the cannon down first, which is not really that big of a deal. Still making probes and stuff, so he's going to be pretty standard. He's probably going to be going into some kind of gateway build after this. A lot of Protoss actually tend to go through these positions. On the other hand, I do actually realize this now. I think that he probably might go into some kind of Stargate build because these positions are really close by air, especially this third right here. I mean, look how far away this is. If he puts a Stargate here, the Void Ray literally takes 10 seconds to go here to deny this third. So probably a smarter play from rsvp would be to get that Void Ray out to deny the third. A lot of Protoss actually tend to go Stargate because it does, like I said, deny the third, and it also protects against roachling all-ins. If you can get the Void Ray out before the roaches get your wall down, then you can just pretty much stop it straight up with Void Ray, so it is pretty good. We do have the probe being chased there by that one Ling, who will eventually kill it, I guess. I'm having a hard time catching him there. And one Ling outside the ramp here just to check for any more scouting probes. You do want to keep an eye on these probes that come out because you don't want him to put up any proxy pylons, so putting one Ling on him is actually very well worth it. Killer also bringing an Overlord over here just for a little bit of a later scout. You want to bring this Overlord in at about 6 to 6.5 minutes just to see what kind of tech path the Protoss is going to take. Bring this in a little bit early, but at this point, I mean, rsvp is not going to have any kind of air to deal with the Overlord yet, so he is pretty safe to bring that in. And an Overlord here at the natural as well, going to check for these gas timings, also very important. You can tell if he doesn't take these two gas, he's not going to be a kind of double Stargate or anything like that. So Cybercore just finishing up now for rsvp, and again, Killer is going for that quick third base, so he's going to try to beat out rsvp in the econ game here. rsvp is going to scout this, however, so he's going to see this hatchery go down. We'll see if he decides to go into Stargate, and yeah, he actually does. So I really do like that decision to go into Stargate. It gets, like I said, the Void Ray gets really close, and it's really easy to abuse this cliff back here. And I mean, you can just come right back to your main right here. Really easy to reinforce. So yeah, I think Killer's gonna have a little bit of trouble trying to keep this third up and running. He's gonna need really good creep spread, and I mean, he should be getting an evo. Like on this map, I would almost blindly get an evo if I'm going quick third, just because I mean you can tell, and that zealot going down there with some cute micro from Killer. But yeah, I mean, I'd almost blindly go Evo if we're on these kind of positions, just because I know that the rush distance is so short that, I mean, I'm just going to have to get a Spore down just to deal with those Void Rays. But it does look like he's going to try to opt to deal with it with just Queens. It might work out for him pretty well as well. The first Void Ray is on the way now, so he does have time to get one more Queen out here at the third base. It should be able to deal with any Void Ray pressure. Just checking for a third right now. No third going down from rsvp yet. He does look like he's going to be going back into Gateway. He's going to go single Stargate, so nothing too out of the ordinary. +1 is also on the way, so he's going into heavy Gateway play. Might try to force Hydra with the Stargate, which a lot of Protoss actually do. They try to make you go Hydra, and then they'll just make a quick switch into Colossus. And, I mean, you pretty much just can't beat it because, I mean, Hydra is just terrible against Colossus. So we're going to see what happens there. Proxy Pylon going down now for SVP as well. The Lings are going to scout this, however, so it is going to have to get cancelled by SVP. Really, really smart there. Really quick decision making. He did cancel that in time, saving himself some resources. And in the meantime, the Void Ray coming to the third here, charging up on the Overlords. This Queen is not going to be able to stop this Void Ray. This Void Ray is going to shred this Queen. Another Queen is on the way, however, so he does have this attack. He just doesn't want to run away. I mean, he's just giving away free hits on the Queen. But they will be able to shoot that Void Ray away and keep the third up and running. So great play there from killer, getting that second Queen over there fast enough. And, I mean, that was mostly due to this creep spread over here. It is pretty good so far. And mostly Roach Ling out of killer right now, so not really deciding to go into any specific tech path. And we do actually have a Hydra Den on the way, so the forced Hydra is coming. I mean, another Stargate going down for rsvp. I feel like he hasn't scouted the Hydra Den yet, because, I mean, if he did, I mean, he's going to know that Hydras are so good against Void Rays and Phoenix that, I mean, there's really no point in getting a second Stargate. He should be getting a Robo. But I guess he just expected that killer would not go Hydra because it's too predictable, and, I mean, yeah. But he's letting his Void Rays get pretty low there. 4 Queens will take down 2 Void Rays fairly easily. I mean, they even have Transfuse and stuff like that, so he just has to be careful with that, let those shields come back before he tries to attack again. Putting down a Twilight Council as well now, so it looks like he's going to be going into some Blink Stalker Void Ray play. Definitely very interesting combo. He's going to see that Evo, he's going to try to pick up another Overlord, just trying to be annoying, make the Zerg waste some Larva and get supply block and stuff like that, so really smart there. No Hydras are actually out yet, I don't think. It's just Queens for the time being. And first Hydra is out now, so rsvp is going to see that Hydra. He is letting his Void Ray get fairly low. He does have to get out of there before they get picked off. But he does know the exact tech that killer is using now, so he's going to be able to deal with this fairly well. It wouldn't surprise me to see some kind of Templar Archives, or yeah, there's Templar Archives now. I was going to say Templar Archives or Colossus are pretty much the only way you're going to deal with Hydras like that, or if you go like Dark Shrine just to get Archons or something like that. But for now, I mean, there's not enough Hydras to deal with these Void Rays. These Void Rays have complete air dominance over this entire map. I'm just going to be able to do whatever they want with this army. I mean, Roaches and Lings obviously can't shoot up, so they're going to be very annoying for the time being until enough Hydras get out. We do have 11 on the way now for killer, so he will be able to deal with these Void Rays with 11 Hydras. And yeah, they're coming out now, so RSB has to be careful. He's going to lose a couple of Void Rays if he's not, and he actually loses one, so that is pretty big. And will the second one go down? It's down to 15 health, but it looks like it will get away. The Hydras are pretty slow off creep, so not much they're going to be able to do there. I'm surprised he hasn't been attacking the third a little bit more. He's just kind of been picking off Overlords, which isn't that big of a deal. He's trying to get his third base down right now, but it looks like we're going to have a big attack coming out of killer here. He's going to be moving into the third base. This is definitely going to have to get canceled. It's not even going to be able to get canceled. It's going to be completely denied. This Photon Cannon will not be enough defense here if he decides to move in. One Zelt in the middle of that, they're getting picked off. I do expect Killer to come in here and pick this off really, really quick. Pretty unfortunate for rsvp. He does want to get that third base up and running. The third base is really when Protoss is going to be, you know, when they know they're going to be in good position. I mean, 2-base Protoss isn't that great if the Zerg takes the whole map. So while this army is moving in here, this Nexus is doomed. They're going to try to come into the third here and pick this off, but a lot of Queens are out right now. We have 3 Queens and a Hydra coming in here, and these Queens do have enough energy for Transfuse, so they will be able to shoot away these Void Rays. One goes down, a little bit sloppy there from rsvp losing his Void Rays, and they do get the Void Rays do get shoot away, so they will not be able to pick off this third. These Queens just have too much energy, and they do too much damage here. One Void Ray getting picked off again. It looks like he has to get out of here really quick. These Queens are on creep, and the Void Ray does get away. Still alive, and a big attack into the natural coming now from Killer. He's going to be picking off a couple of probes here, and pretty much just trading armies really efficiently right now. Killing that third was a really big deal. That means he can just macro his brains out here and stay ahead of rsvp. Cannon's getting picked off, and now more Zealots are out. Charge is done, so that will make the Zealots a little bit better against these Roach Hydras, but still, I mean, Hydras just shred gateway units, especially when they have Roaches in front of them. I do expect these Zealots to all go down. Maybe not. No, the Void Rays do save that last Zealot, but still a lot of damage done right now. If you look at the income tab, we have 60 workers for the Zerg and just 46 for the Protoss, and the Zerg is on 3 base here, so he's going to have way more gas as soon as he decides to saturate them. More Hydras on the way now. I'm really surprised we haven't seen The Templar Archives is out, but I mean, I'm surprised he's not making any Archons. I guess he's just going to wait till the last minute and see which ones are highest on energy and stuff like that. But we have Void Ray production, and Phoenix production has completely ceased. No use of these Stargates is being done right now. Going pretty much completely Gateway Army right now, which has its benefits and it doesn't. I mean, Gateway armies aren't strongest against Hydras if they're controlled well. I mean, Hydras can just out-control and just dodge the storms, especially if they're on creep. And 2 Voiders getting picked off there, big loss for rsvp. You can see the food count starting to plummet for rsvp and get way in killers' favor here. 131 over 90. That's a pretty big deficit at this point. killr grabbed a 4th base right now, so he is in phenomenal shape here. And we have rsvp trying to throw down that 3rd base again, putting 2 cannons up. So they are not going to be finished in time, however. This is all going to have to be cancelled yet again. And, I mean, killr doing a great job here at just containing rsvp on 2 bases. Not letting them grab that 3rd, which is huge. But a big army coming out now from rsvp, and huge storms going down on the Hydras. And that's the one thing that can shred through these Hydras. Storms are just so good. Great exchange coming here for rsvp now, picking off a lot of Hydras. These Void Rays are doing tons of damage from the top. And this attack actually gets picked off, and he will save the Nexus, so really, really surprising there. I didn't expect that to happen at all. I figured this Nexus was done for, but the army did get there just in time, and a couple of beautiful storms just got rid of those Hydras really quick and allowed rsvp to protect that natural 3rd, I should say. And now these Archons are out, and these Archons are going to do a ton of damage to these Roaches. They do have to get out of there before they get picked off. More Roaches flooding in. I feel like this is just a bad rally. He should be pulling these back any minute now. These Void Rays will be able to kill off these Roaches if they don't get pulled back. And no Aspire on the way now for killr, so it looks like he's going to be going into Broodlord. He is getting his infestation, but at the same time, so he's going to be trying to go for Broodlords here very soon. Again, really potent tech switch there. Broodlords against Archons. You know, Broodlords shred Archons. It's really not even close. And these Roaches are going to run into the 3rd here. They're going to try to pick this off, and it looks like the army for rsvp is in a great position here just to pick off these Roaches, forcing them into the natural. There is nowhere for these Roaches to go. They're just getting picked off. The Storm's doing damage. The Archons are doing damage. The Zealot's charge is finished, so it's making it way harder to kite them. And it looks like a lot of Roaches do get picked off, but they are going to get away and live to fight another day. And more Roaches streaming out now for killr. And now rsvp is actually getting in a pretty good position right now. He's starting to maintain his 3rd here. He's just got to get it a little bit saturated. His main's pretty much mined out, so he's going to be maintaining a lot of probes over there. And his natural isn't that saturated either, though, so he does have to pick up the probe production here. He's got 3 Nexus we could Chrono Boost out of, so he should be making a lot of probes right now. Just focusing all his gas on Archons or something like that, or some Templar, and just trying to basically get back in this game. Because I mean, if you look at the income tab right now, it's 75 over 59 for the Zerg, who is just grabbing his 4th base right now, starting to get that saturated. So he is staying ahead in the econ game. So I feel like rsvp has to get something done here. He's got to make something happen so we can get back into this game. He's just falling farther and farther behind. I mean, the Zerg is almost on Hive Tech. He's going to have Broodlords soon. Granted, the Protoss will have Void Rays, but I mean, if at this point the Zerg is going to have just too much econ, he's going to have too many Broodlords and Corruptors for the Void Rays to deal with, and this isn't going to be good for the Protoss player, I should say. If he doesn't make something happen, he does have to attack fairly soon. These 3 Void Rays are trying to do damage overhead, but these Hydras have a +2 attack, so I mean they're going to be doing a ton of damage. These Void Rays are not going to be able to keep up. Of course, the Void Rays not being upgraded, as I mean he's not dedicated enough to air to merit the upgrade. The ground army is 1-1, so it can keep up with the Hydras, and he's starting to get Immortals now as well, which are really good against these Roaches. Immortal Archons are really potent unit comp. It's really hard to deal with as the Zerg if enough of it gets out. They do have to keep trading to keep the Immortal count really low. Pylon getting picked off there by killr. Really nice there. Just trying to supply block rsvp a little bit, and a little engagement here in the middle of the map. These Roaches and Hydras are going to have to back up because this is just too much. Big storms going down there from rsvp, doing a ton of damage to these units. They do have to back up onto the creep until they can regain some health. The Roaches do burrow to get that extra regen, so that is good there. These Hydras are starting to get a little softened up. I mean, a lot of them are in the orange, and one's in the red there, so you just had to be really careful. And this is a terrible engage for killr right here. The Hydras are in the front, the Roaches are in the back. That's exactly the opposite of what you want. And these storms are going down, and the Zealots have taken out these Roaches here. And it looks like rsvp is going to try to set up a little bit of a position in the middle of the map here. He's going to try to get the high ground. It looks like he will be able to control that. 2 more huge storms going down on these units, and they're just doing a ton of damage. The Roaches are actually melting. The Archons doing so much damage. These Immortals are just sitting in the back and pummeling these Roaches. And it looks like killr may have enough with this reinforcements here just to take the middle of the map back. And yeah, it looks like these Immortals will get picked off. The Void Ray goes down. These 2 Zealots do go down as well. And it looks like, yeah, killr is going to be able to regain the middle of the map. So they're definitely important there for him. He does want to keep this Watchtower. He wants to know exactly what rsvp is doing at all times, just to make sure he's not going to pull any sneak attacks. We have a lot of roaches coming out right now. I'm not quite sure if he started the Greater Spire yet. It doesn't look like he has. I don't know where that Spire actually is. There it is there. He hasn't actually started his Greater Spire yet. Kind of surprising. I feel like he's going to want to get Broodlords out really, really fast, and this 4th from rsvp is going to be denied. He does have to cancel that before it's finished, and he does, so really good there. So he is being contained on 3 bases right now as the Zerg takes his 5th, so yeah, I mean, killer doing a great job here of staying ahead in the base count. His economy is way better than rsvp's at this point. His tech is going to be way better as soon as he gets this Greater Spire up, which, I mean, it should be relatively soon. I don't know why he got this Mutalisk. That's kind of confusing. But nonetheless, like I was saying, he does have to get those Broodlords out. He wants to get that big tech advantage. These roaches are not going to be able to support him for the entire game. He does have to get those higher tech units out. More Templar are coming out now for SVPs, making a ton of Archons, which is really, really smart. Archons are really good against, Archon Immortal is, like I said, really good against Roach Hydra. He does have to get a lot more out, though, because, I mean, the food count is just so far in Killer's favor right now that he can just have his way with the Protoss. He's going to be running the 3rd here. Looks like he will be able to take out this Nexus as well. He's going to pick off the cannons first. The Zealots and the Archons are coming from behind, but a nice little split of his army there from Killer. So he's going to dedicate half the army to picking off these roaches, or picking off these Zealots and cutting them, and the other half to killing this Nexus. Looks like he will be able to clean this up here. The Archons are getting taken out. Infestaterrans are being pooped out right now, so they're going to be able to kill off these Void Rays, and it looks like this Nexus will go down as well. I don't think there's really much that... okay, he's actually going to pull out those roaches, because the Infestaterrans just didn't do enough damage there, but I feel like at this point that rsvp is just in a terrible position. He just can't get enough units out to deal with all these units from Killer. He's just basically out-macroing them. As you can see, there's 15 Hydras on the way right now, and I mean, these Void Rays are all that Killer has left, or that rsvp has left to deal with all these roaches, and these Hydras are just making them melt like that. Look at this attack coming from the Hydras. 1-2 upgrades are going to do so much damage to Void Rays. They're especially not upgraded at all. Stalkers are coming out. That's not going to be enough. These roaches are running into the 3rd base here, and it looks like he's going to take out this gateway, so a little bit of a production hit there for rsvp, and it looks like this Nexus will be taken out as well. I do expect a GG here any minute from rsvp. There's just nothing he can do at this point. I mean, you know, Killer has all the bases scattered out. He knows there's no other bases. He's on 3 base. He can tell that for sure. This Nexus does go down, and I mean, now there's pretty much no mining for rsvp. He's got no bank, and I mean, Killer is just sitting back on 2k, 1k, 3k, 1k now, and yeah, I do expect a GG here any minute from rsvp, as Killer does run into the main now. He's going to pick off this Void Ray. A big storm going down on the roaches, but again, it doesn't matter at this point. There's just too much here from Killer, and there's the GG from rsvp. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more.